What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of a build breakdown on my 93 Thunderbird Super Coupe. Just finished up the build about 2 weeks ago. Running great so far. Pretty happy with it. But let's start with the engine. As far as the engine goes, we're running a Staley Racing set of heads. It's a local company out here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Custom grind David Dock at Super Coupes Unlimited cam. Got a ported intake manifold as well with some headers. As far as the boost goes, we got a Magnum Powers MPX set up. If you go on there and get the whole power package, basically it comes with your inlet plenum, the blower case and the raised top, and then all your pulleys and belts that you need. This one's good for about 16 PSI. Got a crank pulley and supercharger pulley. But this one's also running through a Mishimoto front mount intercooler. Of course, whenever you're running an extra boost like this, you got to go with the MLS head gaskets and ARP head studs. Just a rule of thumb on these cars, kind of a prone to failure thing. As far as fueling goes, we got a Walbro 255 liter per hour fuel pump running through 60-pound injectors. Another thing I would recommend on these cars, especially if you live down south, here in North Carolina it gets pretty hot in the summer. But I run a bigger, it's not a full size one, but it's probably at least twice bigger than stock. But it's a Griffin, it's a Griffin radiator. A good high pressure cap. And it definitely helps. If you do that with the 180-degree thermostat like we did, and then match your chip to the fan trigger or to the thermostat, it definitely is worth doing if you're living in the south like we are. As far as the chassis goes, it's a pretty simple setup. Got a set of Vauquelin lowering springs, 1.5 inch drop. And if you're seeing those brakes, that is actually a set of Mustang GT brakes, drilled and slotted. Got them from Power Stop. To run those, you'll have to do a Mustang. These are a SN95 hub swap. And it definitely helps a lot whenever you're looking for wheels for the car. This one's running some 17 by 10. So 17 by 10.5 in the rear and 17 by 9 up front. Nitto 555Rs. They're FR 500 black chrome, but the tires are NT 555R Nittos. 245s up front and the big 315s in the back. It doesn't, with these big fender wells, it doesn't really do it justice, but they're 12 inches wide in the back, and it's about as close as you can get to a radial. Without, I mean, it's not quite a drag radial, but it's definitely a great track tire. With all the stuff we done with the piping, we also done a rear mounted, we done a battery relocation. Definitely freed up a lot of room back here. And also, it's a little trick, we like it. As far as the interior goes, gotta have the fire extinguisher, but just a good clean 90s interior. It is an auto car, but you know, We like it. Windows are tinted pretty dark. But yeah, here she is. It's a little bit dirty. We actually just got back from a car show and I think some kids left some fingerprints on it, but pretty happy with the build. So, like I said, it's all tuned by David Dock at Super Coupes Unlimited up in Ohio. He can do it remotely. We actually drove up to Ohio just to, he's the man whenever it comes to these cars, so we wanted to make sure he thought it was right. But it's running great. I'll give you guys a startup. Transmission goes on this car, it is a pretty simple setup. It's still an AOD car. Basically all we've done is a good 2600 stall torque converter, good shift kit. We've got a constant pressure valve body. We have a hardened input shaft, so we didn't do away with the overdrive. We do street the car a lot. And it's a cruise car, so we didn't want to do away with our highway speed. As far as the rear end goes, it was a Ford Performance 410 rear end. Gets out of the hole really good. It honestly doesn't do too bad on the highway, like people say. But I guess it's all according to where you're located at. I like it. Got a good whine to it. Gets up and goes pretty quick, already at 70. Coming through town, better slow down, but wanted to get a good shot of the video. Demonstration. The suspension setup on this car is super simple. I mean, it's boggling, lowering springs, going through the stock suspension. I mean, it's simple, but it handles very good, especially on a curvy road. Honestly, bumpiest road in North Carolina, the bumpiest paved road, anyway. But it takes it. So far, I'm really happy with it. Like I said, we're gonna try to figure out the rubbing problem in the back, see what we can do about it. If not, I'll just get different tires eventually. Yes, I do know there's a big crack across my front windshield. Sure, that's going to be in the comments later on, but yeah, builds take time. I'm just happy it's running and driving and it's not running hot and the oil pressure's good, and I mean all the Super Coupe stuff is working as it should. feel like the car is working at its full potential. The way the car was intended to work when Ford came out with it. So yeah, that's the build again. Gonna give this YouTube thing a go. Gonna be posting up a lot of Super Coupe content, a lot of build content. Got a lot of car projects around here. Car and trucks. That's the next one coming. Stay tuned if you wanna stay up to date on everything we got going over here at King's Customs. Peace out.